Since the early 1950s, the sweeps and climbs of Wisconsin's glacially carved kettle moraine forest have enticed and tested the best drivers in the world. Today, the pilots and teams of the Pirelli World Challenge will take the exam at America's National Park of Speed, Road America. Welcome to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, and the legendary Road America for the Road America Grand Prix, presented by Cadillac. Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Kramer, joined as always by Calvin Fisher. Cal, this place really throws at the driver everything they love, but I think maybe more than anything else, raw speed.
Well, Greg, this is certainly my favorite racetrack in all of North America, and I think if you poll all of the drivers in Pirelli World Challenge, they would probably say the same thing. You're right, it's all about raw speed, but there are 14 very important corners, but 3 very high-speed sections. If you have pace right there this weekend, I think you'll be in great shape.
Yeah, that's why it gets comparisons to Belgian Spa and, of course, Germany's Nürburgring. You know, we're into the second half of the season now, but before we move forward, let's take a look with our Kia Rewind back at the most recent 2 rounds of the championship from Lime Rock Park. Rounds 11 and 12 unfolded at scenic Lime Rock Park, or as we like to call it, the beautiful bull ring, and Alvaro Parent was on pole, but Cal, it wasn't going to last too long.
Well, a power move from the outside. Andrew Palmer in the Bentley puts it in there really deep, makes the move stick, and held on to the lead for a few laps.
Yeah, but that was the key, wasn't it? Few laps, because as they came up on some lap traffic, Alvaro put on a little bit of a school.
He did. He threaded the needle there, tries to make the move. Andrew Palmer takes the Bentley in too deep. Parent does the undercut. He wouldn't be headed the rest of the way.
Eased away, building that lead margin, absolutely. Now, one of the reasons was Pat Long into the pits, but it wasn't a mechanical issue. It was a drive-through penalty. Why? This moment.
Well, a battle for second got too hot. Down into Big Bend. You can see here from the onboard, Pat expects Andrew to roll a bit more speed through the middle of Big Bend, gets it wrong, touches him, allows the way for Parent,
who comes through with a big win in the GTA category. It looked like Martin Fuentes would maybe put up a record 8th consecutive win. Not to happen. Late in the race, Mike Shine ran him down, and a beautiful move to the lead.
What a move. He seems to manage these races so well. A superb victory for Wright Motorsports.
So as one of the team members had an issue, another one brings home the win, and it was a great moment. There you see first and second. And GT Cup, the third category, always has a separate start. Sloan Uri on pole, eases into the lead, and the Global Motorsports team in Alec Udell anticipated rain, went a little soft in the setup, and he just couldn't match the pace.
Yeah, they rolled the dice a little bit with the weather being a bit temperamental. No one knew what was going to happen there, but certainly opened the door for Sloan Uri. Brilliant victory, however, got really tight at the end.
Yeah, had a quick spin a couple laps from the end, but had enough margin. So for the next day, Andrew Palmer was going to be on pole, but had a crash in the morning warm-up, not able to start the race. That put Alvaro Parent into the pole position. Pat Long alongside was not going to go quietly, but this time into the first turn, Parent got the lead, but Ryan Eversley was a rocket.
He did. Look at this man come to the outside. He almost makes a move on Pat Long for P2. Doesn't quite make that stick, but he's up into the 3rd position.
You can see O'Connell fighting for it, and later O'Connell suddenly a cut right rear tire, and it happened right past pit in. He had to limp it around. That was long enough, and then the stop to get the tire changed. The crew doing superb work, but he was out of any type of a finish, and tires an issue for Eversley.
Yeah, Ryan Eversley loses the final podium spot here in the late going. You can see Kyle Marcelli just thread his way through.
And so Parent came through to sweep the weekend. Pat Long kept it close. This time in GTA, it was not going to be a late race pass and give up by Martin Fuentes. He hung on to it and got his 8th win of the season in an absolutely superb run in his Hublot Ferrari, and was able to bring it home. And that, of course, prompted some nice celebration as he came through underneath the checkers for that 8th win on the season. Now we go to GT Cup. Again, Uri on pole, but a different day as a little different setup on that blue number 17. But at the start, Uri was able to hang on to that lead, but it wasn't going to last too long. And Cal, what determined this one in some ways, as you watch a very focused Alec Udell working his way around this track, was traffic.
Well, this is a bull ring of a racetrack, and Alec Udell had a better car underneath him here today. He was close to Sloan Urine as the leaders come through. There you see Parent and Long go through. That opens the door, and Alec Udell pounced.
Watch the right side of that onboard shot. There's the blue nose as he got to the inside. And you have the inside at the downhill at Lime Rock. You own it. And he was able to go on and add to his win tally this year. Well, with those 2 wins, Alvaro Parent assumed the point lead. But Cal, as we take a look at our Pirelli storylines, the big question is, leaving here, will he still have it? Well,
I think with this championship, you've got so many brands represented, and then you have the diversity of the race circuits themselves. You're going to find a sweet spot now and again in terms of your car being good at the racetrack. That was the case at Lime Rock Park. The double win put Parent in great shape. But coming here, that McLaren has great cornering speed, downforce, but that equates to drag. You're going to struggle a little bit here this weekend.
The interesting thing then, who is going to pick up the chase? Well, you got to look at Porsche.
Well, Pat Long has kept himself very much in the mix. Of course, he had that team switch prior to Mosport Park, got the double win there. A week later, it was on to Lime Rock Park. But for John Wright and Wright Motorsports, they've now had a little bit of time to polish on that Porsche a little bit. Not literally, but fine-tuning it. They should be in great shape here this weekend.
And also, Cal, we see Michael Lewis coming back into the fold, and that's going to help another Porsche driver named Andrew Davis.
Well, they're under the Calvert Dynamics tent this weekend, and it's great to see young Michael Lewis back in this championship. He had a couple of wins earlier this year on the streets of St. Pete. He's always fast, and I think he and Andrew Davis should be able to work together well. They're two really nice guys. They'll share information. They'll bounce ideas across one another. They should be a lot stronger moving forward. And thinking about this race, this weekend, Bentley, 3 poles last year. They've been quick. Well, it's now 4. Adley Farm was the big surprise, shooting to the top of the charts very late in the qualifying session. Bentley have a message, and they're going to make a statement here this weekend. They absolutely will. And of course, there's other bits of information and stories that we want to be following. We have a guy down in the pits and paddock who's been doing just that. Let's meet the third member of our team, Jeff Lepper.
Well, Real Time Acura is back to full strength with those 2 TLX GTs as Peter Cunningham is back in his number 42 when he gave the seat up to Ryan Eversley at Lime Rock Park from the accident he had at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. The Nissans will be strong. J.D. Davidson and Brian Highcotter won here last year, both in GT and GTA, but they don't have the same balanced performance they had in 2015. You can never count out Cadillac Racing. 4-time champ Johnny O'Connell and Michael Cooper are back to their balanced performance boost pressure they had at Barber Motorsports Park, where Michael Cooper got his first win in Pirelli World Challenge.
It's much appreciated, Jeff. Now let's take a look at our Porsche race analysis. 4 miles, 14 counted turns, lots of additional little bends and sweeps, a large field of cars, and it's warm and humid today, so it may just be 50 minutes, but it is going to be a true test. And of course, the track. We've talked about how special it is. Time to show you with our Porsche track preview, riding on board with Pat Long.
Welcome to Road America. I'm Patrick Long, driver of the 58 Wright Motorsport Porsche GT3R, and this is your Porsche track preview, brought to you by Replay XD. Start-finish line, it's a big ascent, climbing uphill, one of the longer straights in our series. Braking just past the access road there. 4th gear into turn 1, very quick entry. Try to carry as much speed as you can. Use all the road on the exit. Turn 2 is now, turn 3 is the next corner we're approaching. Braking hard down to 3rd gear. Try to get as good of a run off this corner as possible because it's another long straightaway in your run down to what we call turn 5. The Sargento Bridge here in the cheese country. Always love coming to Road America. This is a bending brake zone. What you try to do is draw a straight line and let the track come to you so you meet the track right here, driver's right. 2nd gear, all the way out, approaching slower traffic. Have to think about this during the race. It's one of the great things at World Challenges. We have 3 classes operating simultaneous. I'm going to try and slip past him here into turn 7. Use some apex curb, 4th gear, all the way out. Hustle the car back over for a late hard braking into turn 8. Pretty tight on the exit. Got a little wide here, loading my limits in practice. Underneath the bridge into the carousel, very long corner off camber, 4th gear, so it's very quick, over 100 miles an hour, trying to keep as much speed as you can to get back to throttle, running down into one of the most treacherous corners in North America, the kink. Very blind on entry, small breathe at the throttle, back to power, no room for error here. Got concrete walls on both sides. Now it's another bending long straightaway down into Canada corner. Very famous overtaking place, but one that you can get it wrong very easily as you see the gravel to your left. Uphill, climbing to the old Billy Mitchell Bridge, which is no longer, but we still call it that. It's technically turn on 12, 13, into the final corner, turn 14. Don't get your braking too late because you'll pay all the way up the hill. Early throttle, use that exit, run up the hill. Good slipstreaming, overtaking opportunity as we get to the finish line. Unbelievably spectacular racetrack and always a favorite to come to.
Wow, that is a high-speed roller coaster ride. There's no way you find that anywhere else. It is absolutely remarkable. But, you think about all the speed here, but there's one turn, Cal, that's not that quick, but it's crucial.
It really is. That's turn 5, and that is our stop-take braking zone for this event. You come down the moraine sweep, you burst out of those shadows into the sunlight, and then it's hard on the brakes. A driver will try and defend down to the inside, but if he does that, if he overshoots, there's a great ability to do the undercut, and then it's a drag race up to turn 6. It's a fan's favorite spot to watch the action from, and it should be great for us watching the call here this weekend.
And all downhill, gravity doesn't help you at all. It's an amazing piece of track. Absolutely right. And talking about amazing, one of the things we've talked about often is amazing partners that this series has. And Cadillac always comes up in that discussion. And the reason is, as you're about to find out, that their support of this series goes far beyond that of just fielding one of the best race teams.
Driving the ATS VR is just an amazing thing because being a Cadillac, the way it's designed, the way it's built, gives you so much confidence that you go out there and push really hard, dare greatly. Knowing the safety team has products that are built, to the same level of my race car really inspires confidence, I think, in all the drivers in the series that, if something were to happen, an accident, that those guys can get there and do the job they need to safely and execute and take care of us.
The commitment that Cadillac has made to World Challenge and to the safety of this group is absolutely incredible. I mean, they provide us with this incredible vehicle that gets us to the scene, deliver immediate help to the driver if he or she requires that, and essentially mitigate that scene, get the necessary rescue equipment there, get the extrication equipment that we need to, again, take care of that situation, take care of that driver, make sure that they're basically good to go so they can race again.
Racing for Cadillac and being a Cadillac owner, two super cool things. I get to come out here and drive this race car on the weekends, and then when I get home into the airport, I get to jump in my ATSV street car, and I got 464 horsepower, super athletic, safest design that you can get. The guys at Cadillac put tons of effort into making sure these cars are super safe on the track and on the road, so that anybody driving a Cadillac is at the safest they can be.
Well, clearly, as you can see, not only a great partner in terms of the racing, but the safety aspect of the sport, and not just the racing part of the sport. If you buy one of their cars, a lot of emphasis on a safe car for you and your family to travel in, no question about it. But now, Cal, let's talk about the VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. Key part of this track as well on starts and restarts. Tell us how that works.
On starts and restarts, as the pace car exits the track, the field enters the VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. The lead car will be responsible for maintaining a speed from 50 to 55 miles per hour, and at the starter's discretion, the green flag will come out and everyone will unleash their VP Racing fuel.
Let's get to our Motul Pole Awards in GT. Adderley Fong in the Bentley, tremendous run, late lap to pole, and that means he had a chance to chat with Jeff Lepper.
Both Acuras are side by side with us, and one's behind me, so they're quick down the straights. I mean, in Sector 1, which is 2 straights, they're 7/10 ahead, so hopefully get the better line into Turn 1 and then keep them at bay, but it's all about the start. Hopefully I get the flag and get the max throttle at the right time.
All right, thanks very much, gentlemen. Let's look at our Motul Pole Award in GTA. That's Frankie Bonicalvo. Pretty remarkable that he put that in pole. We were talking to him. They're still dealing with that issue at the back of the car, and he said he's literally got opposite lock through the kink here. That's commitment. And the Motul GT Cup Pole Award goes to Alec Udell once again, and he is ready to go in the GT Cup category. It is his 3rd pole of the season in that GMG number 17 Euro World car. Now that we've set the stage, it's time to get it going, and we've talked about how Cadillac is so supportive of its owners. Well, for the start command, they brought in a Cadillac V-Series owner for the command, Brian Alexander. Set them on their way.
On behalf of Pirelli Tires North America and Optima Batteries, Bryant, will you give us that most famous words?
On behalf of Cadillac, drivers, start your engines!
And with that, this beautiful field of GT machinery, GT3 cars, GT Cup cars, 3 different divisions, is set to go racing at Road America. Boy, that's a glorious sound. And the field makes its way now behind the Cadillac ATS VR pace car. Absolutely a fantastic piece of equipment from a company that is a tremendous partner for this series. And with a 4-mile lap, only one pace lap is necessary, certainly. And then we will be ready to go racing for 50 minutes of competition. And Cal, you know, certain things to take a look at here. One of them, second and third on the grid, the Acuras. They have come alive from real-time racing at this track. A lot of experience here, but I think one of the questions is, will they be there at the end?
Well, that's the big question, Mark. They've certainly shown tremendous pace. They've tested here. Their race shop is down in Saukville. It's just 30 minutes away from the front gates here. So, you know, they're expecting great things here today, but we saw at Lime Rock, Ryan Eversley had a podium run going there. He lost it right at the very end because the tires went away from him. He's worried about it. Petey said, no, my car is fine. So he said, we got it covered. Ryan's worried, I'm not.
Here's a look at the Cadillac Escalade. That's the official safety vehicle. Nice to have it. We hope it stays right there where people can walk by and look at it, but it never has to come out on the track, obviously. Our great safety team on board there. Let's talk a little bit about the start. I think that's where we're going to see some excitement because J.D. Davison, once again, didn't qualify up front, but he likes to get there in a hurry.
He does, and he doesn't make any qualms about the fact that's when he can make the moves at the start and the restarts. He's going to be going for it.
All right, we're going to step away. When we come back, we will have a look at some onboards and go racing here at Road America.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Pirelli. Power is nothing without control. And by the Cadillac V-Series, the first ever 464 horsepower 2016 ATS V Coupe and Sedan, and the all-new 640 horsepower CTS V Super Sedan. The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Motul, official lubricant of the Pirelli World Challenge. And by Porsche. There is no substitute.
Welcome back to Road America, everybody, and it is time to go racing. Field coming around, taking up their side-by-side positions, going to be entering that VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. And we want to show you now our Kia Quad Box and the remarkable cameras, the Replay XD cameras that give us such great onboard videos. Lots of those you're going to be enjoying today. But the field now onto the front straight. Going to bunch up just a little bit here. There you see it. Brakes on. Everybody packing up. And we're looking for the start here as they come up the hill here at Road America. And there's the green. We go. And look at Eversley. Speaking of going, he got a great launch.
Oh, there's a touch
contact
there. Contact between John Fogarty and Colin Thompson. Thompson nearly got sideways there, but to the front go the Acuras around the outside of the Bentley.
Ooh, little touch there, and J.D. Davison, we talked about it. Watch what he was going to try and do. He had a little bit of a squeeze play. It caught him out this time. And look at Johnny O'Connell and Cooper in that black Cadillac. Nice move by Cooper, trying to get around Long on the outside of 3.
Yeah, and Long just uses all of the road there. Now Michael's in the dirt. He's going to lose traction and lose several positions there. What a start for Ryan Eversley. Here comes P.D. Cunningham.
Boy, those Acuras are getting out of corners incredibly well. And we know they've got legs on the straights, and Cunningham now into second. But the Bentley from Fogg,
That's too
really
late. That's too late. He's not going to make it work there. We talked about it at Stop Tech Breakdown. Look at that. Pat Long's through. Johnny O'Connell's going to go with him. Alvaro Parent and Davison side by side into turn 6.
And that's a huge story. Parent actually at one point had ended up 11th in qualifying, lost a lap because of exceeding track limits. Then they reviewed it and said, nah, he was actually okay. Put him back in 7th. That's your points leader. That's huge.
Kyle Marcelli, he's had a strong run of late.
Boy,
3 consecutive podiums. Look at the Red Dragon to the outside of Martin Fuentes. Nice move there by John Fogarty.
Fogarty, a lot of racing history here at this track. Never a win, and it is chomping away at it. You know, that bothers him just a little bit. But we were talking about Fuentes, but Frankie Montecalvo, I think, actually added a couple of positions on that start in terms of a cushion to lead GTA.
Look at that. Fong got a nice run there through the kink. He's got a run on Johnny O'Connell now as they head down towards Canada Corner into the break zone.
And Long also concerned about the pace of O'Connell, so he went right down the middle of the track. That's totally legal. You just can't move in reaction to another driver, so he made the move, stayed put, and it was enough to dissuade O'Connell from attempting anything. But look at Eversley, the lead he's opening up, and look at the cars dancing as they come up and through the Billy Mitchell bridge, what used to be the bridge turn, not just the Billy Mitchell corner, Cal, dropping tires.
Fong has some pace right now. He made that little mistake down at the stop, take brakes and lost a lot of positions, but he is starting to make some moves, putting the pressure on Johnny O'Connell. Brent's having to defend a little bit. He's positioning that McLaren to the right side of the straightaway.
Oh, here he comes, looking down the inside here. And nope, not quite going to do it. Now we're going to go back and replay and have a look at what happened in GT Cup at the start. And you can see Yuri was able to get around and make the move. But here's how the start unfolded, Cal, coming up. And you know Fergus is antsy here, and he was ready to go. But for some reason, Welch laying way back at this stage. But look at Fergus, and he may, it looked like here, have actually gotten a nose ahead by the start stand.
Well, he loves this racetrack. He's got a lot of confidence. He's been tweaking on the car. They've been testing, and he's trying to put it in a good effect here today. Udell, though, holds that inside position. Corey slides it around to the outside, but Udell is still in front, but Yuri's made the position up to P2.
Able to slide through, and oh no, the 05, that is the Nissan GT Academy, Nissan Nismo of Brian Heitkotter, down into the pits. He won one of the GTA races here last year in that category. But now, well, anytime you pit in this series, it's a bad moment for you, but this one looks like it's going to take a while.
Well, he won in the GTA division here last year. And the Nissan boys were expecting great things, but right now it's all about Acura. They run 1-2, a brilliant start by Ryan Eversley. Petey Cunningham on the move early as well. Brent, though, our championship leader, this is a day he just has to manage his expectations. He realized that McLaren has superb downforce, but it's going to be a little bit draggier down these straightaways. Cooper's got to run on him.
He's got to run, and clearly you can see that Davison has some speed here, even though he got caught out at the start. Now, side by side, Cal, down into Canada.
Well, Perrent was dropping wheels on the right-hand side of the road. That's how far right he was going, making Michael Cooper go the long way around. It's going to be a long day for Alvaro Perrent with the straightaway speed of some of his competition.
Yeah, they're just not quite there. They said it's a boost thing. They're just a little low on boost, and it's hurting the torque almost more than anything else. The launch out of the corners, not so much the top end. And Heitkotter, boy, that was a quick fix. Whatever it was, good news for him.
Yeah, hopefully it has been fixed. They kept it on the lead lap. That's the nice thing about Road America. You have a problem, typically, if you've got a relatively small issue, you can get it back out there. If it gets a yellow, maybe you can get back into the mix.
And here's that battle once again. Perrent and Cooper continuing to duke it out here, that 7th spot. You can see Eversley has opened up a margin over 2 seconds right now over teammate Cunningham, who's got almost a second in hand over Long. And then some of the rest of the battling coming down the hill here. And there is the number 13, and that is the K-Pax Racing entry of Colin Thompson. And he is going to be our Optima Batteries Best Start Award winner, up 3 spots overall on that opening lap. So although they're not exactly having the best pace right now at this track in particular, it was a good opening lap for Colin Thompson and wins one of the prestigious specialty awards here. Watching him as he works his way up and through our Stop Tech braking zone. Oh, your points leader in GTA, Martin Fuentes, in the Hublot Under Armour machine. He is in, and you can see Kelly. Apparently, he's done a little agricultural racing there. So they've been struggling with temperatures in this car for most of the season anyway.
They have, and he's had an off, and he must have started to see those temperatures start to rise. He's in there getting the grills cleaned off. Hopefully, he had no big damage to that Ferrari.
There's the number 6. That is Frankie Montecalvo from pole. Has a nice margin now in GTA, especially with Fuentes as he makes his way out, having some problems. And we get a report from Jeff down pit lane, the 05. Heitkotter, the problem was an intake tube, probably on the intercooler that they had to do a quick fix on. So that's the story here. We're going to pause right now. We'll be right back with more from Road America and the Pirelli World Challenge. Ryan Eversley continues to lead here at the home track for the team Real Time Racing, located in Saukville, Wisconsin. For a little bit in qualifying, it looked like they might have a 1-2 sweep of the front row, and then a guy named Fong in a Bentley decided to play the game. Ryan Eversley continues to lead. Here is a replay of the start, Cal, and we know that Eversley just got a great run, but look at Davison in the move, and now watch, there's a moment here where he comes back across, and that just packs everybody up, and look at Heitkotter.
Wow, he just dives it down the inside of his teammate. He was committed there totally. Davison gets another run at him down into turn 3.
And it didn't look at that stage as we watched that replay that at that point there was any damage to the 07 of Martin Fuentes, who is back into the pits now. Something amiss with that car. Jeff, what are you finding out?
Your points leader in GTA is down on pit lane. The crew got the car jacked up. They're checking inside the car, looking under it. Still not right with this car after the damage that he sustained to the right rear of that Ferrari.
Yeah, and this is a shame. He had such a dominating start to the championship, but he was really in the cauldron there in terms of where he was at on the racetrack. There's a lot of argy-bargy going on there in the middle of the pack, and obviously someone got into his right corner.
And since we're looking at fixes to tires and suspensions and the like, we look here at Ryan Eversley, who is carrying our iBox suspension cam. So let's take a look at what's going on the underside of this car. And again, this is one of those tracks, it's it's in Wisconsin, so it's fairly smooth, but it's got its bumps, and you run wide over those curbs, it gives you a ride. Suspension and setup, massive.
It really is, particularly through that long carousel corner. You got to get it right through there, and you got these resurface segments to the racetrack, which will sort of like play havoc with you. Understand they can give them really good grip, but you certainly got to get the car working over the variance in terms of the surface type around this race circuit.
And we just got a report, even though we haven't seen it, that the same tube came loose again on Heitcotter's car, and he's back in the pits. So it just turned into a very long day for that, so a bit of a problem for that car, and unfortunately it's going to be a long day for them. But for Ryan Eversley, he's just now stretched that margin, Cal, up to almost 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, and he's got the fastest lap of the race right now at 2:07.817, and importantly the fast laps today will determine the grid for tomorrow. So his teammate has got an 8 flat underneath him, the rest of the field low to mid 8s, that is 2:08 range. So right now the Acura's doing everything they need to do, but there's still a long, long way to go.
Boy, what a result this would be. Certainly don't want to jinx it here, but pretty special stuff. There's Petey Cunningham. And look at this battle behind now. Yep, Fong coming after O'Connell.
Yeah, I thought he had some strength there, and I think just that sort of a rash moment really down in our stop tech brake zone down into turn 5 on the opening lap cost him dearly, because I think he's got a lot more pace than the guys he ran right now. I think he should be able to chase down the leaders, but to what effect?
Yeah, that's going to move him now up into the 4th spot where O'Connell sits 6 seconds back. Ooh, boy, did he just get underneath. Now the question is, did Johnny have anything for him into the stop tech braking zone? And I think he's a bit too far back, Cal.
He is. JD just cleared him easily. Cooper now, look at Perrin late on the brakes. He'd be into the ABS right there. Otherwise, he was going to take out Johnny Red. That was very late. He had Michael Cooper all over the back of him, but Johnny was maybe not quite as aggressive into the brake zone and nearly cut Alvaro out.
It's interesting with Perrin. Normally he's a pretty fun-loving. He loves to chat and talk and visit. And with the struggles they've been having in terms of the speed and in qualifying, when he realized that they were going to get that lap back and they jumped from 11th to 7th, it's like he just shut down and went into command focus mode. And you can see he's doing what he can. Boy, Fuentes still struggling big time and letting everybody slice through. Nice job staying on the outside of this tricky carousel. Meanwhile, in GT Cup, Alec Udell is just in a zone right now, Cal.
He really is. I mean, he's just found the sweet spot with the setup, and he's gaining confidence, it seems, week in, week out, and he's going to be tough to beat. I mean, Sloan Urey,
Yep.
Corey Fergus are going to challenge him hard, but right now he is definitely the man to beat in GT Cup.
Yeah, I mean, he and Nev, they said they really found the sweet spot on this car, and it's obviously being exploited well by the engineering student from Clemson University as he whistles through turn 7 and down the hill.
Parked it relatively early in qualifying and watched the rest of the guys go chase down his time and grab those very important 7 points as they were tied coming into this championship round.
Yeah, there's Urey, who's into that solid second now in the Security National and Evasys car, a software, construction-related software that he is writing. And it's in the beta program right now. Tells you that the kid's relatively bright, huh? And boy, look at this. Perrin is great into the brakes in certain areas, but Cooper is hunting big time right now.
Yeah, and getting back to Alvaro Perrin, you said, he is very intense in terms of he recognized this is going to be a tough race for him. It's one thing when you have the fastest car or you're on the front row or whatever and you're just thinking about moving forward, but He knew that today he was going to have to be in defense mode and managing this race and just trying to maximize as many points as he can. It's your bad days in the championship season that win you the championship, not necessarily your good ones.
That's a very good point. And there's Frankie Montecalvo, who, of course, is the reigning GTA champion, and he started his run to that championship right here at Road America, winning 2 of the 3 races, and went on to do it. Can he do it again? Well, he's leading and leading comfortably right now here at Road America. Stay with us.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Nissan, innovation that excites. And by Honda Performance Development, Honda's North American racing company.
Back in Road America, Alvaro Parent is on the move, but part of it is because the red Cadillac of Johnny O'Connell is reporting a slight misfire, and Parent has been able to come through. And Cal, that has now put him up into the 6th spot. And boy, this is exactly what he needed in terms of just managing and salvaging points. And he's getting a little bit of help.
He's doing a great job here, and this will maybe explain why Johnny O was cleared so easily by J.D. Davison on the run down to our Stop Tech break zone just a few laps ago. So Johnny O is in damage control right now. He's got to get that caddy to the finish. And Martin Fuentes has retired from this race, and it's before the 50% distance. So our GTA leader may get a 0-point score here today. That is huge.
Yeah, it's massive. There's the car in pit lane, and they said it is just, you can see Martin getting out now as it is struggling with overheating. There was damage to that right rear corner, but that wasn't the issue. The report is that it's just serious overheating in that car, and they've dealt with that at other parts of the season. They thought that they had it solved, but clearly it's going to be a bite today. And Cal, in terms of points,
for tomorrow too, if that engine is damaged, do they have a spare motor on the truck? Can they get it changed in time? Meanwhile, Kyle Marcelli, a man who we thought would be really quick here, certainly showed some pace in practice. A little bit disappointed with his qualifying. He's had a quiet start to this race, but now he's the next man to have Johnny O as the target.
Johnny O, I think, playing the team card nicely there. He's realized he was probably holding Cooper up, and Cooper has gone through and opened it up a little bit, and Cooper seems to have some pace. So we'll see what he's able to do. But now down to the inside, Marcelli making the move as well, and slices by Johnny O'Connell. There is no question, Cal, that Cadillac is wounded.
It is, and Kyle Marcelli has had a strong run, had 3 podium finishes here in the last couple of months. Team knows how to get the job done here. Mike Skeen had a double victory here in 2014, had a podium run last year.
And there is Montecalvo, who right now finds himself 10th overall, leading in GTA. In a car that is not handling particularly well, but boy, he got some help here, obviously, with the problem for Fuentes. Let's get down to Jeff Lepper for an update. Jeff?
Well, first, the Porsche, Andrew Davis, he just threw me out to the grass when we were together. He didn't give me no room. We were side to side on Bill Mitchell, and he just threw me to the grass. So that was when before some McLaren or someone broke, stop in the back of me, and just frustrating because something's wrong with the car. There's the water temperature, the oil temperature were really high, and I don't know. I hope we can fix it for tomorrow.
Well, for Martin, boy, that's going to be frustrating, getting tapped and having problems at the back of the car and then overheating on top of it. And boy, I'll tell you, that's going to be a big hit for Martin in the points.
I think maybe one of the surprises of the race so far is the performance of Michael Shine. I mean, he's running second in GTA, but his lap times are about 1.5 seconds off of Montecalvo, so he may be buried in traffic right now that is precluding him from getting the job done.
Eversley has 3 seconds on Cunningham, who's got 3 seconds on Long. And that battle between Long and Fong, that is closing up.
Look at this, though. Fastest lap of the race is Brian Hidecotter at 207.39. So that's big news for tomorrow's race. If he can maintain that, that would give him the pole. Right now, the Acura's at 207.5 for Eversley, 207.6 for Cunningham. Fong into the 207 bracket as well.
And you just saw, we were just talking about Wilsig in that Flying Lizard Porsche, Cal, all kinds of sideways exiting Canada corner. He is under attack by a gentleman that is truly a delight to have back in the Pirelli World Challenge GT ranks, Mike McCann, who, if you remember back in the day, if you've been a fan for a long time, used to run Viper Competition Coupes in the series in the GT ranks, has some very, very strong finishes. And the last year, or the year after the original Cadillac factory effort ended, if you remember those Remington Cadillacs, that was his program he put together. He and Andy Pilgrim ran those caddies for one more year. It's been a long time, but he's got the Yeti coolers. Viper, that's the car that Tim Pappas used to run, that Dodge Viper, and he now has it, and it's great to have him back in the championship.
Johnny O'Connell continues to fall further down the order. That's now for the 9th position that Austin Cindric holds, so O'Connell down to 10th. A disaster for Johnny Reddy. He's trying to scramble into this championship lead. It's not going to happen here today with the guys he's chasing up in front of him.
Through the kink.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, this is it.
Fong has a run. He has a run on Patrick Long. Can he clear him? Side by side, that is wild action right there. Great job by both drivers, giving each other a little bit of room.
Yep, I think you could tell Long realized he lost that little bit of momentum, and when he got alongside, he's got to keep an eye big picture on this championship in terms of points. And you look at where he sits in the championship relative to where Parent is, it would be silly to battle for a 3rd or 2nd spot and end up wrecking.
Yeah, absolutely, and Pat Long is smart enough to realize this, but I think he was hoping there'd be a few more cars between he and Alvaro Parent. There's only one right now, and that's J.D. Davison.
Yeah, J.D. Davison has shown some speed at this stage of the race as well, but nobody's showing the pace right now like Ryan Eversley in the number 43 Acura TLX GT from Real Time Racing and HPD, Honda Performance Development.
Just got fastest lap. He just took it away from Brian Hartcutter by a couple of hundredths.
That's huge, and we talk about that in terms of starting position, pole points. That's big news as well. So Eversley leads it in GTA. There's your number 66, Frankie Montecalvo, continuing to lead in the GTA category. And in the GT Cup, it is still Alec Udell out front, almost 3 seconds over Sloan Urie. So that's your top 3 drivers in the 3 classes. We'll come back to Road America in just a bit. An iconic shot here at Road America as the field pops out from underneath the Briggs & Stratton Bridge down into turn 3. Hugely important corner as they feed the throttle down the Moraine sweep, and Ryan Eversley continues to hang on to the lead, doing a superb job. But Cal, another look at this start, and it was just looked like straight line acceleration for Eversley, was able to just get him to the lead.
It was. Look at the bump there. That was really close between John Fogarty and Colin Thompson. Great hands there by Colin Thompson. Look at that, how tight it was between Johnny O and J.D. Davison with the pit lane, and then Highcutter was just committed. He just elbowed his way past his teammate.
Yeah, well, he J.D. Davison it. That's what he did, man. That was absolutely great.
I had a chat with the boys before the start of the autograph session today, and JD said, I'm going to be going for it in the opening lap. And I laughed at Brian and said, well, just get in his wake, mate. And he took me literally, I think, there.
I think he did, absolutely. And I wonder if that little touch with Fogarty and Thompson is what may have caused Thompson's problems.
Very good point.
And there is the 13 down into the pits. We had a report he was slowing. It's a tough season for a very talented driver. I mean, 13 races he won out of 18 last year in the Cup. 3rd on the grid at Long Beach. No question about his speed. Luck, that might be a different story.
Yeah, it's just not going his way right now. They go to the right rear corner. There's a block going underneath the car, so there's a bigger issue than just a cut tire. But you're right, he did have the bump. That would have been on the left side, but I'm not sure if he touched the wall at the same time on the right side.
Good news is he's back out, but even there, Cal just looks really twitchy in a spot where you wouldn't necessarily expect it at that stage. You'd already sort of be straightened out of Billy Mitchell. So issues for him. And speaking of issues, we've got some issues with the Cadillac team as well. Johnny O'Connell has been struggling just a little bit here. Reported misfire in that car, and he's just sort of dropped down the order. And that is huge, Cal, because he was absolutely one of our top points players and was going for a 5th straight championship.
Oh, it's got really bad now because his last lap was a 2:23, which is about 15 seconds off the pace. Preston Calva having a quick spin there down in Canada corner, it looks like.
Yeah, did a nice job of getting it turned around and drives off. See if we can see what may have prompted that moment down there, heading into the infamous Canada corner.
I wonder if his teammate getting into him? No, he just tried to follow Andrew Davis through there at the same speed, just lost the rear end under braking as Fogarty comes through the picture as well.
Yeah, Preston Calvert looking racy, going after a GT car there in the GT Cup machine, but he clearly had a good run. And
Andrew probably went, yeah, just follow me, boss.
Well, you know, and that's interesting. In the drivers' meetings here, one of the things that some of the GT drivers said to the GT Cup guys is they said, we're not able to get around you in a straight line here because you don't have anywhere near the downforce. The cars are narrow, but they still make good power, and we're loaded with some drag, and these Cup cars in a straight line are very fast. And they said, if you see us behind you, you know, either signal us you don't want us to go by getting in the middle,
right,
or just lift a little bit, let us slice through. But in this case, it was Preston going after the GT car. That was pretty impressive.
Well, you just can't brake. It's not just through the corners, in the brake zones as well. The GT3 cars have a lot more downforce, and you're able to brake a lot later. You're pushing the car into the ground a lot more force.
Well, and you can see that lead that Udell had, and now look at this starting to shape up as you've got J.D. Davison and Alvaro Parent. And this battle has been stout, and Cooper coming right with them at this point. So that's going to be a battle 5th, 6th, and 7th as they head down into Canada Corner.
Cooper's having a nice run here. He's really starting to put the pressure on Alvaro Parent, and that's the man he's chasing in the championship. Right now, Cooper sits in the 4th position in points. Alvaro Parent leads. So he realizes this next position could be super critical.
And we're watching there as the number 2. He has had himself a tremendous season this year. Cal Marcelli joining the battle, and in GTA, there's the man. Frankie Montecalvo has the lead. However, Mike Shine has gone through a bit of those GT cars, and the margin's not quite as large as it was. So it's going to be some interesting racing when we come back to Road America.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by McLaren GT, manufacturers of championship-winning GT cars. By Replay XD, life's in HD. Replay it. And by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by BRM. And by Audi, truth in engineering. Visit AudiUSA.com or schedule a test drive today.
Welcome back, everybody, and through the Moraine Sweep goes your leader, Ryan Eversley, a place he's quite familiar with since he became a driver for real-time racing in the Pirelli World Challenge GT Championships, as it is the home track for real-time. And Ryan leading right now over teammate Petey Cunningham. Ryan has been able now to open that margin back up to just over 4 seconds at this point over his teammate and team principal Petey Cunningham. There is Petey as he comes into the frame here, and I think Ryan might be easing off just a little bit. We're into the final stages of this race, so we might see that margin actually come down a little bit. To me, Cal, the surprise might be the fact that Adderley Fawn got to 3rd and then hasn't been able to do much with it.
Yeah, I think the Acuras have done a great job here of managing this race, and I don't think it's been about the gap between 1st and 2nd. It's really been about the gap back to the nearest chaser, which right now is Adderley Fong. And I really think without the little mistake that he made down in our stop-take brake zone, he could have been really pushing these guys a lot harder. He had a lot of ground to make up once he cleared that pack.
Yeah, he has. It was a great qualifying run right at the end. He put together a stunner and popped to the top. Great pace here. I think it was the 4th straight pole at Road America GT competition for Bentley. We talked about that. And it's going to be fun to see what will happen tomorrow. However, what's going on behind him has been pretty interesting. Long finds himself in a relatively quiet 4th, but Davis and Parent and Cooper, this one's not done yet. This is the battle for the final spot in the top 5.
Yeah, and Cooper really needs to try and dig deep and see if he can find something to get around Alvaro Parent in terms of the big picture of the championship. Oh, Montecalvo drops a wheel. Does that shine through?
That might be.
This is for GTA. I think Michael Shine. Is that him up ahead?
Yeah, it was only 0.7 of a second last time by.
Let's take a look here. This is the corner that's really been giving Montecalvo fits. It's subtle there, but he just tried to straighten his hands a little bit, felt a little bit of a wobble in the back, straightened his hands, runs wide, and Michael Shine pounces.
Boy, Shine has made up a lot of time in this one.
And it's not been his lap time. It's just Frankie has really just fallen off the pace a little bit. We spoke to him just a couple of hours ago, and he said, I'm really struggling with the handling of the car, and it's really gone away from him here in the final stages.
See a different angle on it, Cal.
Yeah, there's just a real subtle move there. I think the car got a little bit loose on him. He had to straighten his hands. He runs out wide, and there's a big dip there after the curb.
And at that point, dirty tires and the like, you're not exactly going to throw it 100% into the kink either. So, yeah.
You can see him there. He's really tentative there with the steering inputs on the entry to turn 1.
They've just been chasing this one. And he said that they're anticipating.
Look at the hands inside the cockpit.
They're anticipating maybe having the new McLaren, or a Mercedes for possibly Sonoma. And he said, I'm looking forward to that. And there is the 17 of Alec Udell, continuing to lead handily in the GT Cup category. Last time by start finish, almost 5 seconds the margin. He's been able to build over Sloan Uri, who's got Corey Fergus just a tick or two back from him at this stage. But Udell, it has just been one of those days that has been righteous.
It's just continuing to really just show this trend. They just really turned a corner. They struggled a little bit in the early going, but then found the setup that worked for Alec. And I think once you find it with that class, don't sort of like get too far out of that window. Don't kind of go big changes. Just really fine tune it, even if it doesn't feel right. Make small changes so you don't get lost.
As we begin our last lap, Ryan Eversley knifes underneath the start stand, the white flag flying. That margin, we talked about it. I had said it was almost 5 seconds, and I went, yeah, I think Eversley's managing now because it's down to 3 as they come through and make that run down into turn 3. Those two beautiful TLX GT machines. Not GT3 cars, still built to the legacy GT rules. But when they switched them and made them the rear-wheel drive, it brought them a lot more options in terms of what they could do in the cars. And they've been testing them, and a lot of that's been here, and it's showing.
And the big question coming in was the tyre degradation. Would these Acuras run off the tyres? Well, right now, the last lap, P.D. Cunningham set the fastest lap of everyone in the field, and then Ryan Eversley the second fastest on that particular lap. So not only have they got the track position, they've got pace at the end of the race as well.
Boy, this will be a special one if they can hang on for another half a lap down through 7, plummeting down into another of these downhill braking zones. Not quite as tricky as turn 5.
Too bad there's another race tomorrow, because there would certainly be a party tonight, let me tell you.
That's true. Yeah, Siebken's Resort might be absolutely aglow, especially if they do it again tomorrow. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves at this point with this level of competition. But this one's going to feel mighty good if they can bring it home through the kink. Eversley absolutely on rails. Gives himself that little bit of a margin to the exit, as does Petey. And one more time down into Canada corner, Cal.
It's all about that qualifying, and then that brilliant start where he put the move on Fong, taken the lead, hasn't looked back, managed it superbly well. You can see there just using the TC probably at this stage of the game to get off Canada corner and try and get it to the stripe.
Up through Billy Mitchell, and now making the run through 14 for the last time onto the front straight. Ryan Eversley feeds it throttle at Road America. Acura is going to bring home the win, and it might just be a 1-2 sweep as they come by. Eversley celebrating. P.D. Cunningham runs right to the wall to celebrate with his team. Real-time Racing does it. A 1-2 finish for Acura here at Road America. And out of Canada corner, Alec Udell will be the next class leader to come by. And he has put together an absolutely superb run. That Global Motorsports Group team, Nev, his engineer, Euro World Motorsports, the package is super complete right now. And Udell from pole, going to stretch that point margin just a little bit more. A huge win for Alec Udell. It will be his 6th on the season. What a run he's been able to put together. Sloan Uri will be in second. And what a story here. Mike Shine, who's done it a couple of times, late in the race, comes through, picks up another win, Mike does. He did it very late in the going at Lime Rock, where he made a pass for the win. That's his 4th. What a story. A double Acura celebration down in turn 5 maybe, huh?
They've probably got all their families and friends down there.
I wonder if Petey drove by Ryan and said, no, we got to race him tomorrow. No donuts yet. But look at Ryan celebrating. Loving the moment here. Let's take a look at our results. Eversley, Cunningham, and Adderley Fong in the Bentley will complete the podium. Long and Davison hangs on for 5th in that run. Now we go to the second page, and you can see Mike Shine and Monty Calvo do come home 1-2 in GTA. Tough day for Frankie after being so quick. And Andy Wilson got around McCann for the podium in GTA, and then you look back a little bit further, and really the stories at the back of this one are the ones that were struggling, and the most notable there without question, Johnny O'Connell in GT, a huge point leader, and Martin Fuentes retired and may get no points here in terms of GTA, so some big developments at this stage. So we're going to step away, so when Victory Circle happens, we'll be ready for it. Stay with us, folks. Few things are more special in racing than winning at home, and for the Real-Time Acura team, a 1-2 finish at Road America. What a day for that team. Bringing it home with the win, Ryan Eversley in the number 43 machine, and he is with Jeff Lepper, and this should be fun.
That was unbelievable. I'm so happy. We tested here 2 weeks ago. The Acura TLX team did a great job getting everything we needed for the long run. I knew we'd have a good start. I didn't know how the tires were going to hold up. They did great. I'm just so thankful to everybody at Acura. Honda Racing, HPD, Real Time, my whole team, PD Cunningham. I'm living a dream, my friend. I'm so happy and so thankful, and I hope you guys enjoyed that because I sure did.
That is one lit human being right now. That's totally understandable. Cal, let's take a look at our Cadillac ATSV move of the race, and it was a sweet pass by Adderley Fong on no less than Pat Long.
Yeah, he did a great job. I mean, he had the run going, he had the momentum in terms of coming through the pack, but as a brave move to go around the outside of turn 13 here at Road America, he made it stick.
He did indeed. Now let's talk about GT Cup. Another win for Alec Udell, his sixth on the season. He is standing by with Jeff.
No more tie in the points lead.
Yeah, it's good to come out of this race on top. Obviously, that's where we want to be, and we're looking at the end of the season, looking for that championship win. Got to give it to the guys at GMG. We've been on top. I think every session this weekend that we've had live timing. So, really great car. Thanks to the guys at Euro World Motorsports. They've been cheering me on from home. I got a text from Frank. Thanks, Frank.
Well, that battle in this class, I think, is going to be absolutely spectacular all the way to the end of the season. Now, key at turning point, Cal, actually involves GTA. It looked like Franny Montecalvo had this one covered and then bit in the carousel.
Yeah, he suddenly had the pressure from Michael Shine, and his car's handling seemed to be going away a little bit. Had the moment in the carousel. Rough ride there. Shine pounces like he always seems to do at the end of these motor races.
And our MotorTrendOnDemand.com Clean Pass of the Race Award, it was a beauty, Alvaro Parent on Mr. Cooper.
Well, I don't think Cooper's car was so clean after this moment, dropping wheels off of turn 3, but certainly an important moment in this race for our championship leader.
And our VP Racing Fuels Hard Charger Award, Sloan Uri, even though he didn't get the win, he got a second, but he made up 6 spots overall during the course of the race, and he gets that very special award. And now, on to our Motul Fast Lap Awards. These are huge because it means pole in each of the 3 classes and points for the next race coming up. In the overall and GT category, Eversley in the number 43 Acura, and GTA Montecalvo, even with the issue, got fast lap. And in GT Cup, Alec Udell does it once again. Well, that's going to wrap up our coverage here of this 12th round of the championship, but do stay with us, folks, because when we come back, we will have our call from the 13th round of the Pirelli World Challenge GT Championship at the Road America Grand Prix, presented by Cadillac.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Eibach, the world leader in high-performance suspension, by Bentley Motors, and by AFE Power, advanced engineering, proven performance. The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by VP Racing Fuels. Our passion is your performance. And by Kia Optima, not your average midsize sedan.
Welcome back to Road America, everybody, and I'll tell you, a little bit different day than we had for our 12th round of the championship. Rained overnight, some clouds in the air, but the track is drying, should make for an interesting race. Let's get to our Motul Pole Awards. In GT, yesterday's winner, Ryan Eversley, in the real-time Acura, put in a 2-minute 7.375 lap. That puts him on pole, and that means he had a chance to chat with Jeff Lepper.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I think that's my second pole in World Challenge history or whatever in the 2 years I've been in it, so pretty happy about that. Obviously, we saw today starting up front's a big advantage. You get some clean air, able to kind of get away from the mess, and hopefully, kind of master of your own destiny in that case. So looking forward to being up front, and thanks again to my Honda Performance Development, Acura Real-Time team, and everybody here and supporting us in Wisconsin.
All right, thanks very much, gentlemen. Let's look at our Motul Pole Award in GTA. Frankie Montecalvo, even though he had all those problems, still put in a 2-minute 8.770 second lap. He gets the GTA Pole Award. And the Motul GT Cup pole award goes to Alec Udell once again in the number 17 Porsche at a 2:14.224, but only 2/10 clear of Sloan Urie, so things are very, very tight indeed. And also, Jeff Lepper has an update on some of the players in this field. Jeff, what are you hearing?
Spoke with Laura Clauser, the Cadillac Racing Program Manager. Johnny O'Connell, the electronic throttle control issue. They took the component out. They're going to bench test to see what that failure was. All good for Johnny O'Connell right now. Sloan Urie still has that left hand wrapped from that earlier skateboarding injury. He's struggling here on right-handers, especially since this course is full clockwise. And Martin Fuentes overheating yesterday in your GTA points leader. Not sure he can make the race distance with that Ferrari 458. He's going to pace himself to try to make 50% of this race.
Thanks very much, Jeff. Lights out on the Cadillac ATS-V pace car means we are going green after having one lap of race lap time under the caution flag to give them a little bit extra time to have a look at this track as it has changed noticeably from yesterday due to the weather. Now out of Canada Corner in turn 12 as they work up to the Billy Mitchell turn in turn 14. We'll start to see them stack up, get into their side-by-side run, and our 13th round of the GT and GTA and 12th round of the GT Cup Championship for the Pirelli World Challenge here at the Road America Grand Prix, presented by Cadillac, will commence. In now to the VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. You see the pace car accelerate away to build a little margin, and it's now down to Ryan Eversley and our starter as they make the way up the hill. This should be absolutely spectacular, and again, it is damp off to the edge of the track, off the line even, but off the track itself. You want to be precise and survive these first few corners. Up the hill we go. We are green. This is going to be an interesting drag race, Cal, the Nissan versus the Acura.
Fong pulls in front of P.D. Cunningham, tries to take that inside line away. Johnny O'Connell trying to make some moves in the middle of the pack as well. J.D. Davison very much in the mix. Can he go around the outside of Fong?
He's going to try. He's got the spot. Is he going to be able to make it work? They are still.
Look at Highcutter for the lead. He's pushing Eversley. Eversley down deep into the brake zone. Fong and Davison still side by side.
Look at O'Connell down underneath, making it 3 wide at the exit of 3. He's got the inside. Oh, and Mike McCann in the number 82 Viper has had a significant impact, Cal.
That is huge. Major damage to that Yeti Viper. That's down in the brake zone for turn 1.
Off to the left, so immediately into a full course caution mode.
What a move by Johnny O'Connell.
Oh boy, he needed that. It doesn't matter, standing start, launch control, whatever, those Cadillacs can get moving well. Here's what maybe happened. We're going to try and find it here in just a second as to what happened to McCann. Watch it here.
Look to the right, he just loses it under braking. Fires it straight across. Fortunately didn't get anyone else involved there, but he was down to the inside, didn't have a lot of grip. May have found a damp patch even and just didn't have the same braking on one side of the car to the other.
That's what I was thinking, was way offline there. And the grip, it's caught out a few people anyway, so that may have been exactly what happened. So under the full course caution, everything will settle here, but Johnny O'Connell, by our reckoning, started 9th and was up to at least 5th. I make it 6th here. As P.D. Cunningham's the guy that dropped a little bit, didn't he?
I think P.D. must have got back by Johnny on the run down to turn 5.
That could be. So that'll be interesting, dude, to determine in terms of did he get that pass done before the full course came out. Here's our GT Cup start. Udell on pole and that blue Global Motorsports Group Euro World Porsche, the True Speed Security National Porsche of Urie, nosing ahead here, Cal.
Yeah, he certainly had a little bit of a margin over Alec, but now Alec takes the inside line and it looks like he's going to safely consolidate that lead, and we're under yellow there so they can see the car off to the left-hand side, and that's probably what made Urie kind of back out of it early.
I think that's exactly right. When there's an incident, that GT Cup start just automatically flips back to the start order. McCann out of the car. That's the best news of all. And this Muck Daddy cleanup is going to be continuing for just a little bit here. So we're going to step away while things get sorted out here at Road America. And we will be back, of course, and take you to the restart and lots of phenomenal racing here in the Pirelli World Challenge Road America Grand Prix, presented by Cadillac. There you see the hand out the window from the passenger. That is the communicator in the pace car. 1 lap to go, and we will be back to green flag racing here. It has cost us a chunk of race time, but it was a big hit, and you have to deal with that. You can see they are bringing out, or they're completing. No, that would be bringing out that machine to maybe do a little bit of an adjustment here and there, Cal.
I think I just saw Martin Fuentes just jump out of pit lane. They've pitted his car. They had engine issues yesterday trying to rectify something there, but he's snuck back out and will stay on the lead lap. But I think for him right now, it's all about getting to the 50% race distance where he will score some points here today.
All right, and we're going to jump down to Jeff Lepper. What are you hearing in pit lane, Jeff?
Martin Fuentes, Ferrari 458 down on pit lane. They're at the bleeder for the radiator, trying to get some of the steam and the air out of this engine, still having overheating problems from that contact that he had yesterday's race.
All right, thanks very much. Boy, just a difficult weekend for our GTA points leader. So as we're under this caution, and if you just happen to be joining us here is what happened, Cal.
Well, look at the start. Fong immediately protects to the inside. That kind of stymies Petey Cunningham's run. Look at that, Michael Cooper in the grass. But further back in the pack, there's going to be an incident. Michael McCann gets on the brakes and just loses control and shoots across the racetrack. You just see it there in the distance. Then side by side for the lead between Eversley and Hidecotter. As we pan back around there, you can see the contact with the wall.
Now we're going to give you this angle, and it'll end up being tails away. There you can see that little tap.
Watch to the right-hand side of the screen as he gets on the brakes. Probably just got a difference in grip right side to left side and just spears across the racetrack. Probably a damp patch there right on the inside by the grass. Caught him out.
And the Road America safety team and our Cadillac Escalade safety crew on the scene. Quickly, Michael got out of the car and walked for the mandatory ride in, and that Muck Daddy cleanup, as always, they're done as fast as it can be done. They are superb at this facility. We have had the indication that they are expecting to go green this time by, so they're confident that that big forklift can get over there, make that quick wall adjustment, and get out of the way. One thing this track has is a lot of cutouts where you can make your escape.
And they have great support here from Gale and all of the moving equipment. We've got excellent support here at Road America. It's really a first-class facility, Greg. We've been coming here personally for so many years, and to drive into this facility now, it is really top-notch.
Yeah, they have done so much to the physical plant around here, and big screens now. And boy, I'll tell you, folks, you want a shopping experience. They got a mall on the infield almost here for the Road America shop. The Victory Circle has a big screen embedded into it, so you can stand there and watch the race and still be a part of Victory Circle. They are really, really on it here, and it is an absolute delight. So now through Canada Corner, and boy, the field awfully strung out at this point, but that's possibly because they picked that pace up a little bit to let them now start to build some heat.
The lights are still on here.
Yeah, so I think they've had to change the plan here with that forklift on track. So, and I think obviously if they just realize that, there's no way they can get it done. The car is backing away. Boy, it's so close. But at a certain point, you have to commit to leaving the lights on in the pace car. And it looks like we're staying yellow. That is a shame. These laps under full course caution are what, like 4 minutes or thereabouts?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long lap, and going to be one more at this point. I think they picked up the pace of the pace car, and unfortunately it didn't quite give the safety vehicles enough time to get back into their locations.
Well, frustrating certainly for all the fans sitting out there and watching the racing, and for us as well. But we're going to step away for just a minute so that when we come back, we won't miss one bit of the restart and the green flag racing here in the Pirelli World Challenge GT. Stay put.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Ferrari, by the Bob Bondurant School of High Performance Driving, official driving school of the Pirelli World Challenge Championships, and by Mercedes-Benz AMG.
An iconic view, the Billy Mitchell turn and into what appears our Cadillac pace car, and the lights are out. We are going back to racing here at Road America into the VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone. And really, it's up to, at this stage, Ryan Eversley. Once that pace car gets out of the way, he can start to roll into the throttle at his discretion. And he wants to do it fairly early, I would think, with the power in those Acuras.
Yeah. It is really cool. Look at J.D. Davis and Petey Cunningham. Yeah. They're way behind. Great restart for Ryan Eversley and Hidecarter, but everyone else, see Parent there immediately defending to the inside line, coming down this front straightaway.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Hidecarter was the one guy who read it and stayed with
Big
him.
late move there by, I think this Michael Lewis on the inside, and Marcelli turns him. Sideways in the racetrack, hopefully everyone can see him with the flags displayed.
Deeper in the pack, down we go. There's Montecalvo leading in the GTA Mercedes.
Cindric and Thompson, two teammates there side by side in the McLarens.
Fogarty trying to do something in the Red Dragon with that Mercedes, had to tuck back in. Looks to the inside again.
Here's Andrew Davis, he wants part of this picture as well. Very deep. Oh, Cindric's to the inside, he ticks. Oh, just gets into the rear end of Fogarty. Just couldn't get it woke down enough.
Fogarty never saw him.
He was just committed there, and he just needed Fogarty to clear the corner, and it wasn't quite enough time.
Boy, and you can see the experience there. John Fogarty just ignited the rears to try and keep that car from drifting into the barrier.
That's frustrating because that team has been working really hard, coming off a test at Miller Motorsports Park where they really think they found a bit better handle on that Red Dragon number 99. That'll be pure frustration for that group.
Here is Cindric as he comes through. And of course the officials will be looking at that just a little bit. And by the way, Marcelli was able to continue, so we stay green. Nice recovery for both himself and Fogarty.
Eversley has taken off, and there was a drivers meeting this morning where the steward was saying, come on guys, let's clean things up a little bit. And we've seen two moments already early in this restart with Michael Lewis and then Cindric getting down to the inside and a little bit of contact. We'll have to see what happens.
Absolutely, but Eversley is where he wants to be, clear of all that. And he is just driving away, as he did to a point yesterday. Last time by, the margin was 0.4 of a second. And when scoring cycles, I think it's going to be up over a second. He has just dropped the hammer. Hidecarter, Fong, Davison, and Cunningham completing the top five. Johnny's still there in sixth.
Yeah, Johnny seems to be hanging tough, but look at this. Here comes Pat Long looking for a way by. There wasn't a way by, so he flicks to the outside. Cooper in the shadows there, waiting to see how this one turns out. Long, a good run there through turn one. He's going to look to the inside, down into the brake zone for turn three. Classic move.
And Cooper's going with him. I think Johnny's in trouble again.
Parent now, he's going to try and take advantage as well.
And getting a report, Cal, number 98, Michael Lewis, drive-through penalty for that contact. And that's what they said in that meeting. They said, we're done. If you guys can't police it, we're going to do it for you. And that's unfortunate. But look at Cooper now on Long, trying to figure out a way through. He's up along the outside.
Beautiful. Can he get there? Not quite. Long gives him a little bit of room. Just good hard racing there. Johnny O is definitely fading. Parent just blew by him down that straightaway.
Well, I'll tell you, Johnny Red is going to be one frustrated man, but he just has to soldier on. That's all he can do. And up behind him now, up into the top 10 overall, is Frankie Montecalvo in that Mercedes.
Yeah, and I think the key for Frankie now, he's got that position. Just maintain, just make sure you can keep the tires underneath you. It's a much shorter race now. We're basically halfway through, Greg, of the 50-minute period. This is the place on the racetrack yesterday where he had that moment right there, ran wide over that curbing, and Michael Shine was able to take advantage and get the GTA victory.
Yeah, he had told us earlier in the weekend that he was actually an opposite lock through the kink. Tells you how he was fighting that car and did a miraculous job of hanging on to it yesterday's race as long as he did. And right now, as you said, has that nice buffer. Now into our frame comes that orange number 13 K-Pax McLaren 650S GT3. That is Colin Thompson, and Colin is our Optima Batteries best start winner. Most spots moved up overall in the opening lap. He picked up 5. So even though he's a little bit farther back in the pack than he'd want to be running, certainly has a quick car at this point. But it looks like Austin Cindric might be even a tick quicker at this stage.
Yeah, I think there you see Michael Lewis diving for pit lane. We haven't heard anything on Austin Cindric with the contact with Fogarty. I would anticipate a similar penalty for Austin because certainly wasn't Fogarty's fault there.
Oh, and Davison into the pits as well. And that's a surprise. That Air Now machine. And Cindric slices through underneath Colin Thompson as they come up on the back of Fuentes, who just moves over. Nicely done. And lets them all go through with Davis hounding them in the background.
Yeah, we haven't heard of a penalty for J.D. Davison, so I'm not sure if this is a technical issue. But it's moved everyone up a spot as Davison was running hard in the top 5.
interesting to see how this one's going to pan out. Down into turn 5 at this stage.
And that stop-take brake zone, look at Cindric taking it in really deep. Because these GT3 machines have ABS brakes to help you out, but they're still not going to just always get you to apex if you're carrying too much speed.
And you've got some massive downforce on those cars that allows you to go in even deeper. These cars, as you watch Alec Udell, there's the margin back to Sloan Urie, Fergus, and Welch as they head through turn 5. And they don't have anywhere near the aero, but what they do have is pretty stout engines and very little drag on those cars, so they get down the straights in a big hurry. But Udell able to just sneak away once again. Boy, this weekend, that crew, they have given him a real weapon, haven't they?
They really have, and he's got a lot of confidence right now, and it's showing in his results and his driving. So this is a big weekend if he can sweep with the poles. Corey Fergus, though, hanging tough. Good to see Corey back up in the mix, not too far back from Sloan Urie. We just got word that Cindric will have to serve a penalty. He was given that warning or to come to pit lane. Now he'll be black flagged if he doesn't hit pit lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he suddenly got really urgent, wanted to make up a couple of spots. Davison, this has nothing to do with any type of penalty, so he must have had some sort of issue with J.D. Davison. So, unfortunately, a problem for that hard-charging driver. We'll try and find out what's going on there as Udell down into Canada corner and chased by Urie, Fergus, and the rest of this GT Cup field. But up front, Eversley, that margin ballooned up to a little over a second and a half, but Brian Heitkotter has now taken a chunk back, and the margin is down to under a second with Adderley Fong now in hunting mode, coming after that lead group. So we're going to step away very quickly here. We will be back with a lot more from Road America. Stay with us, folks. This one is just heating up. The iconic carousel at Road America, and Ryan Eversley for the hometown team. Real-time racing leans that Acura TLX GT into that falling away off-camber run, plants it beautifully on the exit curve, and then feeds it into the kink. What a sequence of corners. They are legendary. And folks, this is what happened while we were in break. The number 6 of Cindric got the memo and made the move down into pit lane. And if you go too long, they just stop scoring you. So that was the right thing to do. And J.D. Davison came into the pits, nothing to do with any kind of a penalty, and ended up having some work done in the car. So let's get down to Jeff Lepper and find out what's going on with J.D.
Down with J.D. Davidson's Nissan GTR. Same problem Brian Heitkotter had yesterday with the intake tube popping off has plagued this number 33 Nissan.
And boy, that's got to be a huge concern if it's the same issue has been plaguing both cars. Certainly for Brian Heitkotter right now, Cal, the pace is there.
It really is, and looking at the pace, they're a lot faster than they were yesterday. I'm waiting for the times to recycle here, but on the previous lap, Eversley laid down a 2:07.1, a little bit slower on this next lap, but that's much faster than they ran yesterday. But remember, on race 2, you're allowed a fresh set of Pirelli P0s. The track is coming in, starting to get some rubber down. The guys are running really fast lap times. Cooper's a man on a move right now. He has cleared Patrick Long, and he's now chasing down P.D. Cunningham, who currently sits in that 4th position.
That's a big story. That last lap, Eversley at 2:07.7, Heitkotter at 2:07.6.
Look at Cooper, 7.2.
And a 7.2. Oh, wow. But Heitkotter, that wasn't a matter of Ryan slowing down. Heitkotter just found speed on that lap. And by the way, we had shown the drive-through penalty for the number 6 of Austin Cindric. But let's go back and take a look at what happened here, Cal, down into turn 5.
Well, it's on this opening lap, and he just gets in there really deep, hard braking with Colin Thompson. You can see Fogarty there. He just can't quite clear him. Cindric's trying to do everything he can to not make contact, but they two just came together right at the apex there. Unfortunate moment.
Again, watching Fogarty just ignite those rears, trying to keep any forward drive going and slow the slide into that barrier. That's a class move. And by the way, folks, we just want to remind everybody, if you'd like to get the ins and outs of this wonderful series in between the races, go to the social media. First place to go is Pirelli World Challenge site at world-challenge.com. Great video content, including links, by the way, to live webcasts of these races. You can also, of course, go to Facebook. Just search the Pirelli World Challenge Championship fan page. And on Twitter, just look for the handle at WC Racing. And, of course, for all things racing, just take a moment. Check out Motor Trend On Demand, which includes the archives of all the Pirelli World Challenge races. You can start your free trial at Motor Trend On Demand today. So lots of opportunity there as we come back and look at our GTA leader. leader. And with everything that's unfolded, Cal, he's up into 8th overall.
He's flying. He just laid down a lap a couple of laps ago at 2:07.4. It's only 3/10 off of our leader's best lap time. So Frankie Montecalvo and that Mercedes from Dime Racing are really flying here today. But again, he's just got to manage things, make sure that Michael Shine doesn't do his normal and come back at him in the late going.
Yeah, even with the problems he had yesterday, you could just tell that this car, this driver, Frankie, liked this track. It just works for him. As we said earlier in the show, it has launched him last year onto his run of, I think, 7 of 9 of the last 9 races he won on his way to the GTA Championship. And he said, I was so looking forward to coming in here. We knew we could maybe run enough and be fast enough to even get bumped up. He said, I want to earn that. I just don't want to do it. And then they had these problems in the early going. And for Alec Udell, boy, I'll tell you right now, I think everybody in that GT paddock is watching this young man as somebody that they may want to plug into one of those cars in the future. And that's really what the GT Cup category is like. It's a place for you to come in at a relatively inexpensive cost, run at this level of the sport, and do it in front of the team owners you eventually want to be running for.
Well, certainly Colin Thompson proved that last year. He was pretty dominant in that class, and then he's got a really top-class seat there with the K-Pax Flying Lizard group.
13 of 18.
Not too bad.
That's
not
dominant.
too shabby.
I think dominant works there, no question about it. And as we watch Alec Udell, and Alec has been able to eke away a little bit from Sloan Urie, stretch that margin a little bit. Some of that is just the way traffic works, and it includes overtaking traffic. And Cinder going to slice through here. There's Sloan. But look at Corey Fergus. He is very, very racing. Great to see that. That very talented driver and that team have made the step up. Touring car champion last year, and the team move along with Corey at this level. It's been a steep learning curve, but they're figuring it out. And we're going to be right back with more from the Pirelli World Challenge Road America Grand Prix presented by Cadillac. Stay with us.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Lincoln Tech, America's Technical Institute. By TireRack.com, revolutionizing tire buying since 1979. And by Motor Trend On Demand. Visit MotorTrendOnDemand.com. Start your free trial today.
Eversley continuing to lead in the Acura for real-time racing in Road America. Adderley Fong in second and Cooper in third, which makes you ask whether happened to Brian Heitkotter, our second place Nissan, the 05 that had such a fabulous run. And here is a look, first of all, at how Cooper got into a place to do that, Cal. A stunning pass.
Well, he just got such a run through the king there, had the speed, had the momentum, and just slides it to the inside into the brake zone for Canada corner. Classic move by Michael Cooper. Now he's running wide, trying to put the pressure on Fong.
He has got the bit. He is frustrated. I think he felt he got a little bit roughed up yesterday, Cal, and he now wants to make good and come after it. But the reason that you see now Fong up into second and Cooper in third, part of it was a problem for our second place Nissan, the 05 that had such a fabulous run. But let's go back and take a look at what happened here. Suddenly had that same issue that caught him out yesterday and caught JD out. He has lost 3-4 spots. Long's going to get him. Unbelievable. And now into the pits, and it looks like they're working on the same spot on that car as they did yesterday and as they did earlier to JD Davison's machine. We're going to jump down to Jeff Lepper. What are you hearing in pit lane, Jeff?
Your second place runner, Brian Heitkotter, comes down on pit lane. The same intake tube that plagued his teammate JD Davidson and this car yesterday popped off again. This AIM Always Evolving Motorsports team working hard to get that pipe back on.
All right, thanks very much. That'll frustrate a team.
Just huge disappointment. They've shown pace here this weekend, but it's a great team, and they just got a little glitch there with the systems under the hood.
No glitches at all for the number 43 of Eversley, although for the team, yesterday it was a 1-2. Today it's a 1-4 at this stage. But Eversley has just been superb. There's Fong, there's Cooper, and that little off by Cooper cost him dearly as he lost enough ground, and he hasn't been able to quite as quickly reel Fong back in again.
Now it looks like they're going to get another couple of laps here, about 3 minutes left on the board, so it'll be this one, then they'll see the white flag. Looks to me like Ryan Eversley seems to run a hard lap and then just cool the tires off a little bit. There's an ebb and flow to that gap at the front, which has been bouncing between like the 2.5 to 3.5 second range.
Here comes your leader in GTA, Frank Montecalvo, who today has been able to maintain that margin. He's got 3 GT cars between himself and Mike Shine in second in that number 16 Wright Motorsport Porsche. 45 of Andy Wilsick, still third in the Flying Lizard machine. But a good day thus far for Monte Calvo. And it's interesting what you were just talking about with Eversley. You know, one of the things that the issue they've had with the cars, we look at our GT Cup leader, still a great run by Alec Udell. And Sloan Urie now about 7 seconds adrift of Udell in the number 20 car. Then Fergus
Walsh
right there.
having a good job as well.
He
Alex
sure
Walsh is really hanging in there. He's only about 2 to 3 seconds behind. Fergus sitting in the 4th position.
Talking what you were, getting back to Eversley, they do have great straight line speed, but because of the weight of the cars and the like, the tires tend to go off a little bit. We've seen that. Is that what he's decided to do to manage it? Just go like stink for a lap, cool him off.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's a really savvy young man, and he's doing a great job, obviously, leading this field. But they really worked on this in testing, Greg. They tested here a couple of weeks ago, really worked on old tire runs and just trying to get the balance to stay with them. And they've really executed perfectly here this weekend.
And he's going to get the white flag this time by, but Cooper in the background, watch for it. Cooper is closing in again on Fong. And I'll tell you, from the carousel down to Canada Corner, Coop is wicked quick.
Oh, there's that high cutter. Going for a bit of a ride.
That's the thing, when you've got some sort of an issue like that, if it suddenly cuts out at the wrong spot.
Plus you're distracted.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
he just
Thompson,
was off
he just
line.
got out in the gray there. He's just trying to be out of the way of Colin Thompson and runs wide through the carousel.
And did a nice job of keeping it clear as we watch Eversley come by, pick up the white flag, 1 to go, and Cooper attacking on Adderley Fong right behind him down into turn 1. Eversley has a big margin. Watch the exit of 1 here, still not close enough for Cooper. It almost looks like he's so close, Kellen, in that last bit of distance into 1, Adderley just a little bit more top end maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think certainly these other cars that he's chasing have a little bit more straightaway speed than the Cadillac, even though they got a little bit of their boost back for this weekend here at Road America. I think the Cadillac is maybe the best handling car out there at the front of the pack right now, and he is close enough. He's going to have a nibble here at Adderley Fong and see if he can get that next position on the podium.
Well, I would submit that if he is this close by the time they get out of turn 8, turn 12 is going to be the place to watch it here up the hill.
Key is going to be the run that he can get. Can he get close enough to the brake zone for turn 8? If he doesn't, then he's got to really focus on just being close enough through the kink to gain that momentum like he did on P.D. Cunningham and be able to make a move into Canada.
He lost just a little bit there through turn 7, but makes a chunk of it up under braking. Here we go, feeding the throttle. He's relatively close, Cal. This might be on.
The key is going to be that aero wash. Can he do his normal thing through this high-speed section? Looks like he's losing a little bit of ground. Adderley Fong is doing a brilliant job here, showing great poise here today. And he may have enough of a margin. Cooper's going to dig deep here through the kink, but I don't think he's quite close enough.
No, he just lost too much through the carousel. Down into Canada Corner. He's going to give it everything, but realizes not close enough. PD sits there in 4th. As they come out of Canada Corner, Fong has enough of a margin as they feed through the Billy Mitchell Bridge. There is Eversley. A sweep of the weekend, perhaps. Still has to make this long climb up the hill. Exit out of 14 on the rail. Here he comes. Ryan Eversley, real-time racing based in nearby Saukville, Wisconsin, and Acura win again at Road America. What a story, and Eversley goes over and salutes that crew. They are incredibly hard-working group, no question about it. Adderley Fong goes 1 better than he did in the previous race from 3rd to 2nd. Frank Montecalvo earns himself a GTA win, and he did it with outright pace, 7th overall, Cal.
Brilliant performance, had tremendous speed in that Mercedes all day long and maintained the pace today, unlike yesterday. But what a weekend for Ryan Eversley. Fantastic. The party will start right now. They had to curb their enthusiasm last night with the doubleheader weekend, but brilliant performance by the group that's based here just 30 minutes down the road.
Oh, how special is this? Yeah, a sweep at home. And for Ryan Eversley, got the nod to become an Acura factory driver just a couple of years ago, and what a statement he has made a couple of times here. And Alec Udell has that lead. It's about 8 seconds over Sloan Urie. And once again, when they hit that sweet spot on that car, and it really was the second round at Lime Rock, they went back after putting that slightly softer rain setting on, and when they hit it, And Alec has just been in stunning form as well, and that combination has given him these kind of race wins, Cal.
Yeah, he's a really great young man, really smart, fast behind the wheel. He ticks all of the boxes, and he's got a great group there with GMG and Neville, his engineer. They really work well together. It's all about the chemistry.
And that's very family, the way that they go about that, and it pays. So the young engineering student from Clemson University in the Woodlands, Texas, comes home and brings home another win. What a season Alec Udell and Global Motorsports Group and Euro World have put together in GT Cup. Well, folks, we're going to pause very quickly here because when we come back, we want to have some time to talk to our winners, so stay with us. Welcome back to a jubilant Road America, because an awful lot of the fans here this weekend certainly are local Wisconsinites, and they have just watched the hometown team, Real Time Racing, located nearby Saukville, Wisconsin, sweep the weekend. Ryan Eversley doing the double.
The sweep here in Real Time's hometown.
That's right, man. I can't say thanks enough to Real Time, Honda Performance Development, Acura, Art St. Cyr, Steve Erickson, P.D. Cunningham, Lee Niffenegger. All those guys at HPD believed in me. John Akita from Acura for saying I was an okay driver when he rode me in an NSX. So, unbelievable day for a weekend, I should say. Look at all these people here for the weekend. Unreal, man. This is exactly what I always wanted. And I race with the best team in the sport. I'm just so excited right now.
Let's take a look at our driver championship points in GT.
Well, Perrin continues to lead. He did exactly what he needed to do here in managing the problems that he's going to have with that car around a very fast racetrack. Pat Long sneaks up on him a little bit. Michael Cooper making a big move with a nice run here today.
And GTA Drivers Championship
points.
Well,
a tough weekend for our Champions leader, Fuentes, but a big win here today from Frankie Montecalvo. Closing on that lead, but Martin still has a healthy margin over the rest of the field.
Yeah, after slipping out of the lead late in the race yesterday, Montecalvo hangs on. Jeff, he's got to be mighty pleased.
Finally got the win.
Yeah, it feels great, especially for the guys. They put so much hard work in getting this car back together, and really just trying to get it to work right after the hit at Long Beach. So I think we finally found out how to get it, but maybe it'll be even better for the next race with the new chassis.
Thanks very much, guys. And now, Cal, take a look at our Cadillac ATSV move of the race, and it was a caddy.
It was a brilliant move. Look at that. Michael Cooper gets a run through the kink and then just lays down an inside pass into Canada corner on P.D. Cunningham. Brilliant.
And, of course, in the GT manufacturer points, the manufacturer battle, huge.
It really is. And with Pat Long finishing ahead of Perrin in both races, helps him in the Drivers' Championship and for Porsche in the manufacturers.
And now that's going to lead us into a look at what happened in GT Cup, and it was Alec Udell with yet another win.
Well, Alec Udell, what was the key to getting that sweep here this weekend?
We had a little bit of an issue yesterday with understeer, so we made some changes last night. Nev made a good call, and John with some adjustments for the race today. So I'm not going to tell you what it is because that's our secret. But obviously the car went well. We were very consistent throughout the whole race, and that's ultimately what matters here in Pirelli World Challenge. It's a 50-minute race, but even with a bit of caution at the beginning of the race, we still have a long time for those tires to last. So we were able to manage the tires and bring the GMG machine home in #1 again. We got 2 wins this weekend, max points. So we're just focused on Mid-Ohio now.
And they came into this championship dead even, Cal, this weekend. That's changed.
Well, in GT Cup, this is like a blowout. It's nearly 40 points now that Udell leads by. So Yuri's got a rebound here. Otherwise, Alec has got the momentum right now.
And we take a look at our Kia turning point. Unfortunately, it's a bad one. That issue for Heitkotter took him out of second.
Yeah, he had a brilliant run going. It's such a shame for the Nissan group there that they had problems with both cars here today.
And our Motor Trend OnDemand.com Clean Pass of the Race Award. It was a beauty. Number 2, Kyle Marcelli, figured out a way past Lewis and the number 23 of Dion Van Molke on the very last lap, out of the last turn, under the bridge.
Well, it's never over till it's over, particularly with the group of drivers we have in this championship. Good, hard racing.
Fantastic stuff. And in our VP Racing Fuels Hard Charger Award category, Colin Thompson in that number 13, Capex McLaren, also got the Optima Batteries Award. Well, he upped 9 spots overall during the course of the race. He is our VP Fuels Hard Charger Award winner. For Motul Fast Lap Awards, in GT, it goes to the number 8 of Michael Cooper. He was flying. In GTA, the number 66, your winner, Montecalvo. And in GT Cup, the Motul Fast Lap Award goes once again to Alec Udell. Road America, 4 miles, long straights, little bit of a break, Mid-Ohio.
Well, we go from one awesome racetrack to another. It's a little bit busier there at Mid-Ohio. We talk about madness. It can be madness with the way this championship is shaping up. I'm looking forward to it.
Please make sure and join us there. That wraps up our coverage from Road America. For Jeff, Calvin, and our entire CBS Sports Network crew, I'm Greg Creamer. In association with WC Vision, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.